Hey guys, this is a multi-characters listener. I hope you enjoy. Also, this is a 3K special, and thank you so much for that. I actually didn't expect it, so thank you very much. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. And yeah, enjoy the video. You and your boyfriend Bakugo Katsuki were studying at the library for an uncommon test you had. Katsuki was in class 1A and you were in class 1B. Everything seemed fine until your best friend, Monoma, entered the library screaming, "Yuan, where are you? I need to talk to you." You waved at him and said, "Hey, I'm here!" He rushed to the table where you and Bakugo were sitting, and Bakugo glared at Monoma. Bakugo didn't like him. He thought he was annoying and that he was too close to his girlfriend. So obviously he didn't like the guy. Monoma grabbed your hands and said, "Yuan, I need to ask you a favor." You looked up at him and said, "What is it?" "I need you to come with me. Please, I promise I won't bother you." You let out a giggle and said, "Yeah, sure, I know you're gonna still bother me later, but let's go." Before you could stand up, Katsuki grabbed your hand and pulled you into his chest and said, "What do you want Yuan for?" He glared daggers at Monoma and he shook his hand and said, "You just come back from class 1A. What the fuck do you want?" Bakugo was about to scream when you said, "Guys, don't fight." Monoma nodded and then dragged you out of the library. Bakugo was about to kill Monoma if it hasn't for you stopping him. You were gone like an hour with Monoma, and Bakugo was waiting on you impatiently in the library. He suddenly was tired and stand up and go look for you around the school. He found Monoma giving you a hug and then walking away. Bakugo screamed, "You fucking extra! Don't you dare touch my girlfriend!" You were worried and said, "Bakugo is not what it looks like." You told Monoma to run away before Bakugo killed him, and Monoma nodded almost manically. He started running down the hallway. You managed to stop Bakugo and said, "Babe, calm down. Please just relax and breathe." He looked at you and he was mad, but seriously mad. He said, "Why the fuck was Monoma touching you?" You let out a sigh and said, "Monoma was asking me how to ask someone out. We were planning the whole thing and he gave me a hug to thank me. Relax." He then looked away and crossed his arms. He said, "Whatever." You could see he was blushing a little bit and said, "Bakugo, are you jealous?" "What? Why are we jealous? I'm better than the dumb extra." You giggled. "Yeah, you may be better than him, but it still doesn't mean you can't be jealous of him." Bakugo was done. He pulled your shirt to make you go closer to him and then gave you a kiss. The kiss lasted about 4 minutes and then he pulled away. He said, "I'm not jealous." Who am I kidding? I'm jealous. What? You talk to him more than you talk to me because he's in your class. You gave him a kiss on the cheek. "Yeah, but Monoma is my best friend and he's gonna ask someone out soon, so he probably will have someone else. So relax, I only love you. Got it?" He gave you a kiss and said, "Got it, dumbass." Then you guys walked back home together. You had an explosive boyfriend that had a lot of jealousy issues.
It's the second year of UA. You and Kirishima have been dating since the first. Kirishima has been a little distant since he has tried to better his grades and get stronger. You totally respected that, but you needed some help with your studies, so you asked your boyfriend's best friend, Bakugo, to help you. You and Bakugo didn't hate each other, but didn't get along. But surprisingly, since you guys studied together, you guys were in good terms. You guys would actually laugh and talk, which many people found weird, since Bakugo only did with Kirishima and some other extras, as you called them. One day, you and Baku were at the rooftop having lunch with the rest of the Baku squad, but Kirishima wasn't there. He was talking with Mr. Izawa about a question he has about the subject. Kaminari, Zero, and Mina had to go because Kendo needed their help for something that you didn't know. You and Baku were left alone. You guys started talking about this new horror movie that was going out, and you guys decided to tell the rest of the guys if they wanted to go see it. You and Baku were talking and laughing, and then Kirishima entered the rooftop to see the two of you alone laughing and giggling. You had just leaned in Bakugo's shoulder because you were dying of laughter. Kirishima was very mad, and when he saw you, he stormed there and said, "What is going on here?" He glared at Bakugo. Kirishima wasn't one to get angry, but right now he seemed furious. You stopped laughing and said, "Oh, hey babe, nothing. Bakugo just told me a funny joke. We were thinking about we should go all see this movie." He stopped you and said, "Yuen, you're coming with me. Bakugo, stay away from Yuen." He then grabbed you by your wrist and pulled you downstairs. You guys entered a classroom that was all empty, and you sat on a desk and said, "Kirishima, what the actual He gave you a kiss and stopped you from talking. He then pulled away and said, "What were you talking with Bakugo?" You look up to see your boyfriend. You never saw him like this. He's always a sunshine, someone you can rely on, but right now he seems very mad. You look at him with a confused face and said, "Me and Baku were just talking about this new horror movie that's coming out, and then he told me something and I laughed. That's nothing for you to be angry about." He sighed and said, "I know, but I feel having distant from you, and I don't like it. I'm sorry." You pulled him in for a hug and said, "Kirishima, you haven't been distant. Yeah, you have been more busy, but it's obvious we are second years now. Don't worry about it, okay?" He pulled you closer and laid his head on your neck, and you said, "Baby, were you jealous?" He blushed intensely and said, "Me? Jealous? No, obviously not. Why are we jealous? Baku is my best friend." You laughed and said, "Sounds you were jealous. You actually told Bakugo not to come near me. You never speak like that. He's going to kill you because of the tone of voice you used. You should apologize." He left out aside. "Oh, yeah, you and Bakugo is gonna kill me." You guys started laughing, and then you proceeded to find Baku to Kirishima to apologize to him. Baku almost blew up your boyfriend, but he finally accepted the apology. And all the Baku squad was teasing Kirishima about being jealous, which was hilarious. You and Kaminari were at the amusement park. It was your first year anniversary, and it was supposed to be a special day. You just found a group of your middle school friends that screamed, "Yuen, you're here! Oh my god, haven't seen you since forever!" You turned around to see a group of boys, and you said, "Guys, oh my god, it's been so long." You gave each one of them a hug. You seemed to be very pleased to see them, which to Kaminari was strange. You never speak from your middle school days. You then turned to your boyfriend and said, "Kami, these are my best friends from middle school." You presented to them, and Kaminari was strange that they were all boys. And he was actually getting jealous. He didn't like all his boys looking at you. You started talking to the guys, and one of them put his hand on your shoulder and wrapped his hand around your waist. Kaminari didn't like this. So he leaned close to him and gave the dude a small spark of electricity. The guy screamed in pain, and you glared at your boyfriend and said, Kaminari, what was that? Kaminari made himself look innocent and said, I'm so sorry, sometimes I cannot control my quirk, even though you knew he did that on purpose. You say goodbye to the guys and they ask for your phone number so they can contact you since you guys had lost all contacts in middle school. Kaminari didn't like this, so he grabbed your wrist and said, we need to get going. Nice meeting you guys. Hope I never see you again. You were glaring at your boyfriend, and where you guys were in the first goal, you said, Kami, what was that? He sighed and said, Sunshine, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. There were just a lot of dudes, and it made me feel insecure, okay? I love you with all my heart, and I don't want anyone to steal your win from me, and I know that's stupid, but I never had a relationship before, and you stand up, and you were right in front of him now, your face inches apart, and you said, Denki Kaminari, I love you more than the word itself, so I will never leave you. Don't need to worry. They're just my friends from middle school, and I lost all contact with them a long time ago. I don't like any of them. I like you and I'm in love with you. So calm down and give me a kiss. He gave you a small kiss and you started blushing and said, Well, we should head home now. Mr. Aizawa will be mad if we don't get into the dorms in time. He giggled and said, Whatever you said, made a little sunshine. You started walking back to the dorms, hand in hand. You liked your boyfriend being protective, but you never saw this side of Kaminari. He was usually flirty, but you were happy. This means he cares about you. You were having a great day, and the council meeting was just ended. You were class rep from class 1B, and today you had to stay for a meeting of the student council. You were packing your stuff, and your boyfriend Shinsou was waiting outside from you. The president of the student council, who is a third-year student of the business course, came close to you and said, Hey, Yuan, great job today. You gave him a smile and said, Thank you very much. You continued packing your stuff, and you saw Shinsou at the door. You waved at him and signaled him to come in. He placed his bag next to you and sat on a desk close to you. The president of the student council didn't mind. No one knew you guys were officially dating, but it could be seen pretty obvious since you were always together. Then the president decided to ask you, So, Yuan, what are you going to do today? You gave him a questioning look and said, Well, today I'm going to see a movie with Hitoshi. You looked back at him and gave him a small smile. But the president wasn't convinced, so he said, Oh, Yuan, I thought we could go to dinner tonight. I mean, like a date, something like that. If you can tell your friend to cancel so you can come with me, I would really appreciate it. I really like you a lot. And I don't think he will mind, though. You couldn't see it, but Shinsou had a disgusted look on his face, and his hands turned into fists when he heard the term date. He stood up and pulled you into his lap and said, Sorry, you're the president of student council, right? Well, for your information, me and Yuan are dating. And I will not appreciate seeing some dude flirt with my girlfriend. Got it? The president seemed to be offended and said, Well, I think Yuan will surely prefer to date me. I'm a third year after all. You laid off his side and said, Listen here, I respect your authority because you are a third year, but really, I'm not interested. I have a lovely boyfriend, I have a lovely relationship. He tried grabbing your wrist, but Shinsou stopped him and said, Tosh, Yuan, and I'll kill you. You never seen Shinsou like this. You were actually terrified, but somewhat happy because you could tease him after it. The school council president soon left the room, and then you turned to Shinsou again and said, Hitoshi, He looked at you and raised a brow and said, "What? Were you jealous?" He blushed intensely and said, "What gave you that idea? I wasn't jealous. Why would I be jealous?" You chuckled and said, "Well, the third year was flirting with me and you got really mad. And since you were jealous..." He shook his head and tried to deny it and said, "Well, if you aren't jealous, do you mind me still being friends with him? Because I have to see him every day of the week for the council meetings." He glared and said, "No, you're mine, and that's final. Yes, I'm jealous, but that doesn't mean anything, okay? I love you." You kissed him and said, "I love you too." This all started because you created a plan to make your boyfriend jealous. It was actually the of Todoroki. You always seen your boyfriend so calm and collected and always happy. Todoroki and you wanted to see how mad you guys could get him. So you guys plotted a plan to make him jealous and see how mad he will get. You and Todoroki decided to be in the common room talking like Todoroki would try to flirt with you. So when Midoriya came in after training, he will see this scenario and you guys will see his reaction. Iida and Maraka had tried to convince you guys not to do it, but you guys were too determined. You were surprised that Todoroki brought this idea up. You think he was serious, but he was going to see how mad he could get Midoriya. Midoriya finally came into the living room and Todoroki started the plan. He put his hand on your shoulder and said, "Hey Yuan, you look lovely today." You gave a chuckle and said, "Thank you, Todoroki, you look pretty good yourself." Midoriya was right now in the kitchen, watching you guys in the living room. Then Todoroki pulled you into his chest and said, "Are you more comfortable?" You nodded, and you guys proceeded talking. Todoroki said some more pickup lines and some more flirty comments, which Midoriya could obviously hear. His hands turned into a fist, and he was getting mad. Why was Todoroki, his supposed best friend, flirting with you? You then decided to intensify the thing a little more and flirt back. You said, "Todoroki, you're pretty cute. Any girl will be lucky to have you." Todoroki understood what you were doing, and he let a smile and said, "Well, too bad you're taken. I will surely date you if you weren't." That was it. Midoriya was done. He ran into his room and locked the door. He seemed pretty mad, and you and Todoroki noticed that. You were feeling kind of guilty for doing this whole plan. You ran up to Midoriya's room and you knocked on the door and you said, "Izuku, baby, are you there?" Midoriya said, "Yuan, go away." You said, "Izuku, please let me in." He opened the door and he seemed furious. You entered and sat on his bed and said, "Look, that didn't mean anything. Todoroki and me were just playing a prank on you. This didn't mean to go like this." You could see he had puffy eyes. That meant he had been crying. You go up to his desk where he was sitting and you sit on his lap and said, "Are you seriously that mad, Izuku?" He looked away from you. He was clearly blushing. You said, "I know you're jealous. I'm sorry. Didn't mean anything. Me and Todoroki just wanted to get you mad, to see how mad, and it didn't mean to go like this." He then gave you a kiss on the cheek and said, "Don't worry. You are amazing girlfriend. I just a little sentimental. Don't worry." He seemed to be pretty upset. So you gave him a hug and you guys talked like this for like 10 minutes. He finally spoke again. "You and I know you're sorry. I forgive you, but never do it again." You chuckled and said, "Yeah, but I got you jealous." "Shut up." You giggled and then you guys headed back to the living room for Todoroki to apologize to Midoriya, which Midoriya gladly accepted.
Todoroki knew you and Denki were just friends, but he couldn't convince himself. The way you always talk to him, the way you always laugh with him, the way you were always at his door playing video games seemed sketchy to Todoroki. He didn't like this. He knew he was feeling jealous, but he didn't want to admit it. He was usually a calm person. He didn't want to admit that his own girlfriend was making him jealous. He let out a sigh and started walking to your room. When he opened the door, he saw Denki laying on your bed and you sitting on the floor playing video games. You said, "Hey baby, what are you doing here?" His face grew mad as he saw Denki, but he kept his composure and said, "Hey Joanne, I just wanted to see if you wanted to go to the cafe with me." You let out a sigh and said, "I'm sorry baby, I'm playing video games right now with Kaminari. Maybe tomorrow or maybe later." He nodded and led off the room. He felt this strange feeling in his chest. He knew it was jealousy, but he didn't want to tell you. The rest of the week was the same. You were avoiding Todoroki to hang out with Denki. He didn't like this. He wanted your attention more than anything. So, before you could head to the arcade with Denki and the rest of the Baku squad, he pulled you close to him and said, "I'm sorry guys, I'm taking you in on a date today." You said, "What, Todoroki? Wait, I'm going with the guys to the arcade." "I don't care, you're going on a date with me today." The guys said you goodbyes, and you headed to a small coffee shop with Todoroki. And Todoroki looked directly at your beautiful eyes and said, "I'm jealous." You said, "What? Why are you jealous, Todoroki?" You said, "First, you called me Todoroki, not Chodo, and you called Denki by his first name, and that makes me really uncomfortable. Secondly, you have avoiding me to hang out with him. I know it shouldn't be like this, he's your best friend, I know it, but I love you, and I want you to stay with me, okay?" You let out a sigh and said, "Shoto, the reason I don't hang out with you that much is because I get nervous. I know we're dating and all, but I cannot help but get nervous around you." He gave you a smile and said, "Well, we can work on that." He then grabbed your hand and gave you a kiss. You turned red as a tomato and said, "Thank you, Shoto." "You're welcome, my darling. What do you want to order?" You guys ordered, and then you guys walked to the park. It was great. You feel amazing. This was one of the best experiences you ever had with your boyfriend.
Iida and you were part of the student council, and it was great. But today, an exchange student was coming to UA, and you had to give him a tour. You were glad to do it, but you felt a little uncomfortable, since the guy had a creepy smile the whole time. Iida made sure to follow you guys closely. He didn't want to lose your sight, since the person didn't give him the best vibe the first time they met. He had a cocky smile and believed he was better than the rest. It wasn't Baku's type of thinking that he was the best, no, but worse, like the cocky that he could get everything he wanted. You guys were walking through the school, and you said, "And this is the gym, that's all. Any questions?" He said, "Yeah, baby, can I get your number?" You look at him with a disgusted face and said, "Sorry, one, I have standards, second, I have a boyfriend that's better than you." He said, "You're a cocky bitch. You should be grateful I'm talking to you." You were going to slap him when Iida did it for you. He slapped the guy and said, "I'm sorry for interfering like this, but never talk to my girlfriend again like that, and never call her that word. The word is unacceptable. You should respect women. You don't have a mother or something?" The guy looked at Iida in shock and said, "Hey, calm down. I was just teasing her. God, UA students are so annoying." Iida looked directly at him and said, "Well, now you're a UA student, so you better get accustomed to it. And I'm going to report you with Mr. Isawa. And I know I slapped you, but I'm going to take responsibility for my actions. And still, I'm going to tell the teacher." Iida told Mr. Isawa what happened, and yeah, Iida received 1 day of detention, and the guy also received his punishment. That wasn't as bad as Iida's because he only said something verbally. Iida actually hit him. You were glad your boyfriend defended you, and after his detention, you were right at the door and said, "Thank you, Iida." He blushed and said, "Anything for you, Yuan. I love you." "I love you too, and I'd love to see you jealous." You're so different when you're jealous. You chuckled, and his face grew with a blush that you could swear he looked like a tomato. You guys walked back to the dorms, and all the class cheered because Iida had gotten his first detention, and it was for a noble cause. He had defended his girlfriend. Monoma wasn't one to get jealous. He was the complete opposite. He knew you will never find someone as better than him, and he also knew he will never find someone as good as you. So, when he saw this first year student try to hit on you, he laughed it off. He was obviously feeling jealous, but he will never let it show. Right now, you guys were third years, and this first year student of the hero course was trying to flirt with you. He was watching in the corner this whole scene, a smirk on his face. He decided to make the other guy feel jealous as he was feeling jealous right now. He walked up to you and grabbed your waist and pulled you closer. He said, "Hey, Juan, who's your friend?" He laid his head on your shoulder and looked directly at the guy in the eyes. You presented them, and obviously you had an annoyed face. You didn't like people hitting on you, and mostly you were glad Monoma was here. Monoma started kissing your neck, which the guy clearly understood, but he didn't back down. He said, "So, Yuan, about that movie I was telling you about, do you like to come?" Monoma thought the guy was trying to steal you away from him, which was actually true. The guy was trying that. Monoma responded from you and said, "Yeah, Yuan and me are going to see the exact movie. I'm so sorry, that's a date, only two people." The guy glared at Monoma, and Monoma just continued kissing your neck. After a while, from failed attempts to the guy to convince you to go to the movies with him, he actually left. When you turned to see your boyfriend, you saw he had left a hickey on your shoulder without you noticing, and you said, "Monoma, everyone's gonna see it." He laughed. "Baby, that's the whole idea I'm doing this. The whole world must know that you're mine and I'm yours. That's the whole point of it." You then laid your head in his shoulder and said, Yeah, whatever. I love you. I love you too. Now, let's go get some ice cream. I'm hungry. And actually, that jealousy attack I just had, I didn't like it. So I need something sweet. You laughed. I love when you're jealous. I know you do, Joanne. I know you do.